Verse 836. Defiled by logic, by the traditional teachings, by wrong views, by speculation. They are not able to ascertain definitely about the ego, which they say is. But it does not exist in any way other than clinging. So we're on the offensive against teachings concerning the ego here. Belief in the ego is seen as a huge obstacle to liberation. Personally, it's all, as far as I can see, it's all about words. But there is a very fundamental way in which belief in the ego is a problem. The ego consists of our sensibilities. Awareness is trapped in these sensibilities. Our sensibilities consist of our moods. Moods are patterns of thoughts and feelings. Awareness is trapped in this. Now, we're told that defiled by logic, by the traditional teachings, by wrong views, by speculation. Most spiritual teachings are about transforming the ego, purifying it. And there's certainly nothing wrong with practicing some of these teachings. You know, it's all about becoming a better person. How can I argue with that? But it's not going to lead to liberation. Because when you talk about purifying the ego, you're talking about working with your sensibilities, and that's good. You know, if you've got an addiction or something like that, you can work with it. Although it normally does mean stepping outside it to some extent. And this is really the emphasis on the teachings of non-ego. We step outside, we step back from our sensibilities, and we do that by observing them. By more and more observing. Observation is another name for awareness. In observation, we do not analyze, we simply witness. And when you're witnessing, you're abiding in awareness. And from a spiritual point of view, we can appreciate what was described in the previous verses, the unalloyed joy inherent in this. That's an important thing. We can somehow get ourselves stuck in this idea of awareness as some sort of neutral thing, some sort of empty, spacious thing, which it is, but it's not cold. There are qualities to it, qualities which in the past I've described as the rainbow body. It's a joyous thing. So we should be looking for that element of joy, of lovingness even, in this very neutral awareness. It seems like a contradiction. But let's not be defiled by logic, as it says in the verse. Let's not be concerned with traditional teachings, because we want to see for ourselves. This is the whole point. We're not teaching a teaching here. We are pointing to what is, and seeing what is being pointed to, realizing what is being pointed to. We're not interested in any views, whether they're right or wrong. We're not interested in speculation. The only thing we need to be concerned about is with what's described in the verse as clinging. If you want an ego, well, there it is in the clinging. That clinging is the basis of our sensibilities, of our moods. It's the clinging of the attention. It's this clinging which drives the attention into various patterns. And I've mentioned a couple of times now Ron Henschel's dissertation on the unborn, and he describes Bhikkhu Thanissaro's understanding that nirvana, or nibbana as it says in the old Pali texts, is an unbinding. Unbinding being the opposite of craving, because craving binds us. It binds us to our sensibilities. It binds awareness to a set of sensibilities. Let's take the first person out of it. So this is what we need to be concerned with. Clinging, being bound. Awareness being bound to sensibilities. It's a very difficult one. I was walking to the sauna yesterday. I go for a sauna now and again because there's actually a gym there as well, but by the time I walk there I've done as much exercise as I'm capable of at the moment. So I just go for a sauna and I do some stretches in the steam room and in the sauna and in the jacuzzi. I do various exercises. But as I've mentioned now and again, my body, I have a lot of difficulty moving my body. Things are a lot better at the moment, but every step can be quite painful, and that sensation fuels a particular mood tone. And in fact, as I was having a shower at the end of it, I was remembering how I often was after doing a workout. I was often quite irritable doing my ablutions after a workout in the gym. Perhaps because I was tired. I suspect I often overdid it. And tiredness makes you irritable. So the state of your body affects the mood. But there's also a pattern there. So I was observing this pattern as I walked to the sauna and as I had my shower afterwards. And the pattern certainly wasn't as strong as before. Which doesn't mean to say it might not reassert itself at some point. But it's difficult. It's because with every step I needed to practice. With every step on my way to the gym, to the sauna, I needed to practice. I gave myself a break though. After I got to the sauna, I took a couple of co-codamols, painkillers. And in the past I've often wondered about the use of substances to help us on our way. I tend to have been rather, what's the word, masochistic about this in the past. Or having a rather hair-shirt approach, going along determined to take whatever is thrown my way, regardless. But the effect of the co-codamol is very nice. It sometimes gives me a rest from myself. And that's important because our sensibilities can be quite relentless. Perhaps some people might take marijuana, and I think this might have a similar effect. It gives you a relief, not just from physical pain, but from the sensibilities that pain feeds. So this is quite important. Now I think we have to be careful about getting into regular usage, but occasionally it's good to have that ability to be free of that dynamic whereby pain inspires certain factors of our sensibilities. You can take a little holiday from yourself. Now I think that's quite nice to be able to take a holiday from yourself, particularly when your psychophysical mechanism is a cause of great torment. So I took a couple of co-codamol and it put me at ease, and it's almost as if I'm remembering something, remembering how I can be, and I don't need to take the co-codamol all the time. A certain habit gets broken, the habit of my sensibilities, of my painful sensibilities. And so that gives me a chance to observe these sensibilities coming on again. And I don't need to automatically go for the co-codamol. I can observe the sensibilities coming, and in this way it can be useful to use medication or supplements, but we use them judiciously and don't use them to form new attachments, new clingings. We need whatever help we can get, because it is very difficult. So the main thing here is clinging. And clinging means being lost in the pattern of our moods and the pattern of our thoughts and feelings. And it's possible to be free of them with practice, with some help on the way, either through natural or artificial means.